It's time for Dodger baseball. High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
And Turner in the air to center field. That ball's hit well. Martinez on the run. This is way back, and it is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner.
That's it. A knockout in 19. A seventh consecutive division title for the Dodgers.
And welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me at DMac_LA. Before we get things kicked off, let me know where you guys are agonizing from tonight. Let me know in the comments your zip codes. But now, get all your Dodger takes. I'll stay on as long as it takes. Give me all your thoughts, comments, questions about your boys in blue tonight. An absolute nightmare tonight at the Chavez Ravine. Fire Dave Roberts. I can see it. I'll read off all your comments. Tom Stokes, Jim Hibbert with the Dodgers. First 106-win team to lose in the division round. And last night, we're going to break down the entire game. Walker Buehler pitched his ass off tonight. Clayton Kershaw just couldn't get it done. We're going to talk about everything. Like Vince Scully said, nothing ever comes easy for the Dodgers. The Dodgers 106 wins this year, and they lose at home in Game 5. You know the record for Game 5s at home as it stands. It's very favorable. Teams 18, now 9, the road team now 19 and 11 since 1995 in Game 5s in the NLDS or the ALDS. And tonight, the Nationals win. But welcome to the Dodgers Nation postgame show. Let it all out. Manny, great season Dodgers. On the positive note, all right. Kershaw is not the ace, more like the Joker. Yeah, Clayton Kershaw. My thing with Clayton Kershaw is what Clayton Kershaw has done as a pitcher. He's the pitcher of the generation as far as the regular season goes. He's Mr. April, Mr. May, Mr. June, Mr. July. He's not Mr. October. And what the Dodgers need to understand moving forward is they have to stop trying to rewrite his epitaph and rewrite his eulogy. That has got to be, if this is the final strike, it should have been done years ago. It should have been done years ago when against the Astros when he didn't have it. Should be done last year when he didn't have it against the Red Sox. But look, this organization, they looked at the analytics. He's had success out of the pen. Yes, he pitched well in Milwaukee last year. Yes, he pitched well in Game 7 in relief of Yu Darvish. But Clayton Kershaw, I got news for Clayton Kershaw and this Dodger organization. Rendon and Soto are going to do that. It wasn't just a home run. It was a moonshot by Rendon tonight. And you know what they should have done. You know that Kenta Maeda has been pitching stellar. He's been sparkling out of the pen. It should have been Kenta Maeda, and then you bring in Kolarek, just like you've done all season long, all postseason long, to get out Soto. And then, but the Dodgers, look, give Clayton Kershaw. He comes in, gets three swinging, gets us out on 3 strikes, but. Hey, this Dodger organization, we're expecting wholesale changes in the offseason. Look, the Dodgers lost to Joe Kelly and the Boston Red Sox last year. What did they do? They went out and signed him. We better do the same thing with Anthony Rendon. This Dodger franchise, this Dodger nation, all the fans out there, we are not happy to add another year to that drought. 32 years to that drought. It's not going to sit well with Dodgers Nation. I don't care how many wins they got in the regular season. If you follow the season all season long, you know there have been glaring deficiencies with this team. But Joseph, well, big ups to Buehler, Michael, Luis, Jimmy Denson. We got Maria. We got Santon. We got Jay. We got Columbus, Ohio. We got Kershaw is trash from Jorge. We got Doug, get a real job. Hey, it's a pretty good job. Scott, yep, I said the same thing. We got 9-5 won the house, 106 wins, and they couldn't back it up in the NLDS. That is sad for a talented team like the Dodgers. They set more negative stats and records in the postseason. Kershaw ruined Buehler's game. Look, Clayton Kershaw, I know that no one feels worse about how he performed tonight than Clayton Kershaw. But the reality with Clayton Kershaw is 89 miles per hour on the slider, 89 miles per hour on the cutter. His arm is not there. He does not have it anymore. You saw his first inning ERA. Ballooned up, close to 6. Clayton Kershaw is not a guy who, if he wasn't Clayton Kershaw, if he didn't have that history with his organization, if he wasn't a former 3-time Cy Young Award winner, if you look, there's 10 pitchers that have won 3 Cy Youngs or more. 8 of those 10 have won a World Series. The only 2 that haven't are Max Scherzer and Clayton Kershaw. It looks like Max Scherzer is now going to have a shot at it. And yes, the Dodgers, they were up against the 8 ball against this team. And look at Andrew Freeman. Now you can look at his moves. A.J. Pollock, absolute bust. A.J. Pollock did absolutely nothing this series. He was a strikeout machine. It was fitting they put him in there to strike out the end. He was an absolute bust. He was a failed signing, a terrible acquisition by the Dodgers. You let it go Puig. Puig balled out last year in the NLCS. He hit big home runs in the World Series, and we traded for A.J. Soulless Pollock in there. That was an absolute – he looks old. He looks rickety. He had no business being on this Dodger team and being a key contributor. Joe Kelly, he was a train wreck early on. Joe Kelly got it together. But, hey, he looked rocky during the series, and today you leave him in there for an extra inning. Why do you have Kenley Jansen if you're not going to put him in that situation? That's Kenley Jansen's ball. I'd rather see a fresh Kenley Jansen than a Joe Kelly. Look, if Joe Kelly's throwing strikes, he's a different pitcher. When he starts bouncing him, when he starts missing the strike zone, you saw he's vulnerable. And then Howie Kendrick murdered that pitch, and he murdered the hearts of Dodger fans tonight, including myself. But it was just this one stings. This one stings because of how great Walker Buehler pitched tonight. The Buell dog was just bulldozing national pitchers, national hitters all night long. He was pitching under duress. He had batters on, runners on base. He was getting out of it. And Dave Roberts, hey, pushed a couple buttons tonight. Kike Hernandez being in there, hitting that big home run was key. Kike Hernandez defensively made a nice play on the ball. Matt Beatty had a single. David Freese really didn't get the opportunities that you would like to see. But we're going to break it all down. But welcome here into the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Like I said, my name is Doug McCain. Go to DodgersNation.com for all the fallout, for all your off-season talk. But this organization really needs to think long and hard what it wants to be moving forward, because the Dodgers, you could see it during this series. You could see it with, look, how many truly elite players are on this team? How many truly elite top 50 players does this Dodger team have? Yes, they have depth, but you saw it in this series. You saw you saw what they got out of their starting pitching. You saw what they got out of Corbin in this game. I think the Dodgers really need to open up that checkbook and sign whatever it's going to take. If you want to fire Roberts and if you want to fire Dave Roberts, I would say be careful with what you wish for, because one, we don't know if he's making every decision. We don't know if that's coming from above, from Andrew Freeman and company, because we know how analytics-oriented this organization is. But Dave Roberts, hey, like I said, they need to just – Clayton Kershaw is not going to rewrite his legacy, okay? And the reason it is not because he doesn't want it. It's because, look, he's pitched almost 900 innings more than Steven Strasburg, and Steven Strasburg is only 3 months younger. He doesn't have it anymore, okay? Clayton Kershaw's back. There's a reason why he comes out in the first inning. He gives up bombs. The velocity isn't there. And at the show in the big leagues, if you hang a slider, if you don't command that fastball in pinpoint accuracy, they're going to hit it out on him, and they did it tonight. And the writing was on the wall with Clayton Kershaw. And how this organization didn't see it, look, they based the fact, look, yeah, he even in 2017, he was still pitching 94. He still had his velocity. And if you're talking about 9 innings coming out of the pen and you're basing it on 2017 statistics, look, Clayton Kershaw, it hurts. It pains me to say that Clayton Kershaw, I'm not going to call him Chokeshaw, but look, man, I'm not going to call him that, because Clayton Kershaw, what he's done for this Dodger team, I'm proud to say I'm a big Clayton Kershaw fan, and it really just it's heartbreaking to see what happened tonight. Gave up those 2 home runs, did not close things out for Walker Buehler and company, who really got it done. But the offense didn't step up. The offense, I kind of felt. Let's get back to your comments, though. Get back to comments. I know we're all mad. Dave Roberts and Clayton Kershaw blew this game from Jay. We got Don Martinez fire Dave Roberts in the locker room. Santil from Columbus, Ohio. We got Marlene Kershaw, should not have pitched. Should have been Maeda pitching. Jim Denson, not the front office. No, the front office let us down again for the 6th year. They refused to keep ace pitchers on the team around Kershaw, being cheap. What about the farm system? Trade that minor league to get a World Series win. Boston, Yankees do it all the time and rings. Dodgers have to use Kershaw up to keep the aces around him. A little bit long-winded answer, but I'll get through it. Cheat at 6:40 the trade deadline. We should have gotten Verlander. Hey, in retrospect, hindsight is 2020. I'm accused of being a hindsight hyena myself, but look, looking back, we would have definitely wanted Verlander over Yu Darvish. At the time, everyone thought that was the big fish. This year, no key big-time acquisitions. Kolarek, a sub-1 ERA, he did his job, and he's the ultimate guy to come out, ultimate loogie to get out there. But unfortunately, the Dodgers, they just didn't have enough. It just turned into what we've seen. The Dodgers' inability to hit. Corey Seager and Cody Bellinger. If you want these guys to be the future, these guys at some point are going to have to produce. Corey Seager just had another terrible night at the plate. His at-bats, swinging at stuff outside the zone, and it was clear in that inning with Corey Seager, he comes up there, gets that first out. Corey Seager tonight, he ends up just across the board. Offensively, the Dodgers, they were able to muster 7 hits in total. Dodgers tonight, you look at it, and yeah, Chris Taylor 0 for 2, Will Smith 0 for 4, and Will Smith, man, if this was a day game in July, if this was walk-off weekend, that would have been the Dodgers' 13th walk-off, their 9th postseason walk-off in history. But the Dodgers, man, what a terrible way to go out. What a terrible way to go out. What a gut punch. What a soul-crushing loss for your Los Angeles Dodgers. There's no way to sugarcoat this. This is going to hurt for a long time. 106 wins, and now they have to be the team that has 106 wins, the only team that has 106 wins to lose in the division round. So heartbreaking. We're going to get into it. Trying to get my comments loading here. Big ups to Bueller. Let me open up my Facebook so I can get it from you guys. But what do you guys think was the biggest managerial miscue of tonight's game? I think they trusted Kershaw, and Kershaw, at some point, Kershaw has to be honest with himself. Kershaw has to swallow his pride and realize he does not have it. He does not have it, and sometimes you got to look yourself in the mirror, and you got to be honest with yourself, and whether it's going to the bullpen, whether it's being a 4-starter, 3rd-starter, I mean, Clayton Kershaw just does not have it, and tonight was just evidence of that. 2 home runs. I mean, I'm still in shock. I'll be honest. I'm stunned. I'm still in absolute shock with how that went down today. But here you go. I can read your comments through here now. Just give me a second here. Tom Stokes, big time trades to come. We got Scully fan. Yes, Lindor for Seager. Rob, we are the Braves of the 90s. Well, the Braves of the 90s they end up winning one. So I'm not going to put the Dodgers in that same category because I think that's unfair to the Atlanta Braves who were able to get one. But, hey, look, the thing about Clayton Kershaw's postseason legacy is it's not as bad as people want to make it out to be. Today was another terrible chapter. Look, game 1 of 2017, 11 strikeouts, no walks. First pitcher to do that since Don Newcomb, 8 scoreless against the Braves. He's had his moments, but unfortunately the narrative and the perception is that he can't get it done the postseason, and tonight really was kind of the nail in the coffin for his postseason legacy unless he can find a way. And unfortunately, it just seems like he can't. He tried to get his velocity back this season in the offseason, but like I said, it's still Dodgers for life. I'm going to bleed blue till the day I die. I know that all of you guys, or most of you guys out there, look, the Dodgers lost to the Dodgers have the Dodgers, it always is like Vince Scully said, it never comes easy for the Dodgers. This was a gut-wrenching loss, but back to you guys. Shocked by Roberts' coaching. Jose Dennis, the Dodger team that won 105, didn't win. Yeah, but Kershaw is cursed. Eric Reyes, Kershaw was one of the main reasons we made it to the postseason, but I was not in agreement with him. Kershaw, if you look at him, he was getting like 6.8 runs per game in the regular season. He had the run support. Really, him and Erman with the Yankees were leading the league in run support, so that win total was inflated. And yes, Kershaw can still pitch. Kershaw can still pitch in baseball, but we know that this time of year, you need that explosive, that misbat stuff. The stuff you're going to see from Garrett Cole tomorrow, okay? Garrett Cole, the Dodgers, they sell that puppy out every single night. The Dodgers, they were just valued at $3 billion, okay? when they bought him for, I think, $2.1 billion. This team is printing money, and they better open up this checkbook because Dodger fans have had it up to here. We are just not going to be happy. Last year, they passed on Bryce Harper. This year, no, they signed A.J. Pollock, who was a flat-out bust. For A.J. Pollock. This guy was a complete disaster for the Dodgers, and it was just tough to see. And like I said, the Dodgers, look, Justin Turner's not getting any younger. He's third all-time in postseason runs. He's third behind Duke Snider and Garvey with home runs. He had a pretty solid series. Hit the home run, was key in the Game 3 win. But if you look at this series, the Dodgers from top to bottom, it's the strikeouts. The strikeouts for the Dodgers, 65 strikeouts. 65 Ks. The Dodgers, they hired Robert Van Scoyoc because they knew they had a problem. And what was the problem? Getting the bat on the baseball, putting the ball in play. When you put the ball in play, good things happen. And these guys were striking out left and right. They lead all of Major League Baseball in the postseason for strikeouts. And you know that you're going to face better pitching. You're going to face elite pitching. And you got to tip your caps off. Hats off to the Nationals. You got elite. They were as advertised. They got to Strasburg early in this one, but ultimately Strasburg settled down. He started to throw that curveball for strikes, and the Dodgers, it's going to be a long winter in Los Angeles, long winter. But he truly is. Roberts is a work of art from Cyberpunk Opus. This is why the Dodgers, quote, is wait till next year. Patrick should have pitched Martin instead of Kershaw. Kelly was a buzz too. I already mentioned that. Kelly was not a complete, well, I mean, if you look at A.J. Pollock and Joe Kelly, they didn't do themselves any favors. I mean, Joe Kelly really got put in a tough spot because really Joe Kelly, I wouldn't call Joe Kelly a bust because Joe Kelly and then A.J. Pollock, when he came back from that elbow injury, was definitely one of the better players of the Dodgers. Definitely, if you look at Joe Kelly or A.J. Pollock second half of the season, really had nice numbers. But we all know that if I read you anything from the regular season, that's going to go in one ear and out the other. You could care less about that right now because you want guys that can put up that can contribute, that can excel, that can step up to the stage. People that are born for this, like Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler took that ball, put the Dodgers on his shoulders, and carried us for as long as he could tonight. Gave us 6 2/3 of 1-run ball, and moving forward, you got to feel good about that. But if you look at A.J. Pollock, 0 for 12 before that, 10 strikeouts, batting triple zeros. Okay, Chris Taylor, 167. Jock Peterson had a great night today. Jock Peterson hit that ground rule double, had a single, but hit 182. Seager, I think 3 for 20 in the series. So really, Max Muncy, after those first couple games, started to cool down, but Max Muncy, Justin Turner, 333 in the series. But, yeah, it's unfortunate. The Dodgers and Russell Martin, the Dodgers got rescued. For the Dodgers to have to be rescued by Russell Martin, the most unlikeliest of heroes, that should have been a sign for Dodger fans that, hey, that the core players, the players that we expected to be the guys that were going to carry this team through the postseason, just didn't step up. Cody Bellinger, give Cody Bellinger a lot of credit. Stole 2 bases tonight. He made that great catch, really saved the run, did things other than hitting. But Cody Bellinger, if you're an MVP candidate, you have to step up. You got to get clutch hits. Give me Anthony Rendon. To me, Anthony Rendon, I don't care what it is. He wants $1 billion. Give him a stake in the franchise. I don't care at this point. It's not my money. But Anthony Rendon, if you saw his heartbeat in that clutch situation, he's just what the Dodgers need. You need a guy who can put the bat on the ball, who's not swinging out of his shoes and knows the situation. And yeah, it was unfortunate. But let's get into some of this. I think Joe Kelly should stay. Francis, Gabriel, Maeda, belly flop from wasn't great either from Giancarlo. Wilfredo, Cody is not an MVP. Sager, Raul, Daniel, what's the point of this? LOL. Thomas, feels sorry for Walker. Greg Odom, Pollock is complete trash. Sager swings at garbage. Kershaw, for the most part, the Dodgers didn't deviate from their plan. They weren't swinging at pitches outside of the zone. They were staying disciplined. Corey Seager swinging at stuff out of the zone. But for the most part, when it came to Strasburg, the Dodgers, you'd hope that 3 runs was going to be enough, but unfortunately it was not. Joe Kelly, like I said, I wouldn't call him a complete bust. I think that they didn't do him any favors, Dave Roberts and company, by keeping him out there. I think you got to throw Kenley Jansen in that situation and trust your offense at home. You've won 59 games at home, 59-22. You had 12 walk-off wins. I think you got to trust your offense in that situation. But dude, power pitching is what we need. Rick Ruiz, hey. That's the name of the game. That is the name of the game in 2019. You're either hitting bombs. Dodgers, 49.8% of their runs this year came from the home run. We think we have that figured out, but you're either hitting bombs or you're getting it past guys. And we got one guy that shows he can do it. I'm a big believer of Hyun-Jin Ryu. Hyun-Jin Ryu is also a guy that is going to be a free agent. He's a guy that maybe he re-signs with the Dodgers, maybe he doesn't. Maybe the Dodgers and Hyun-Jin Ryu agree to something that they can both agree upon that works for both sides. But I think the Dodgers need another power pitcher. And look, there's a reason why the Dodgers were in talks to make a trade for Noah Syndergaard. Trust me, those are real talks. Those are real whispers. Dodgers were definitely more than interested. They were inquiring about Noah Syndergaard for a reason. And I think if you add one guy, next year I really want to see either Urias. Urias didn't even look his best in this series either, but let's break down this game a little bit. Garrett Cole, who do you guys want to see? How about that? Let me know in the comments. Who do you want, if you could have the Dodgers sign one player in the offseason, who could get this Dodger team over the top? Who could end this Dodger drought, this World Series drought? But if you look at the lineup, Beatty gave those quality at bats, had a hit. Hernandez, he had a home run. Kike Hernandez really got it done, but that offering to Rendon by Kershaw, top of the 8th, oh man, just speechless. But let's get into it. So top of the first, Trey Turner struck out swinging. Adam Eaton ground out. Anthony Rendon, 3 outs. 11 pitches for Walker Buehler in the first inning. 1-2-3 inning in the first. Garrett Cole from Tom Jose, bring in Joe Maddon and Cole and Rendon. Joe Maddon. Look, Joe Maddon's had his managerial. Some people think that they won in spite of him, but hey, if all the reports are true, Joe Maddon is going to be headed to Los Angeles, but it's going to be the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So I think he's going to go to Anaheim, and I think that that's going to be the case there. But if you look at it, then Jock Peterson goes the other way, bottom of the first. 95-mile-per-hour two-seam, Max Muncy, 2-run bomb. Moonshot Muncy got it done. He stepped up. There's certain guys that are going to step up. You know who they are. You know it's probably going to be Max Muncy. You know it's probably going to be Justin Turner. So the Dodgers, they got to Strasburg. They got to him in the first inning. They go up 2-0. And if you look at him, he did not have the confidence in his curveball early on. One curveball, one change for a strike. He was erratic. His out pitches really, until he figured out later on, were not hitting. So if you look at him, first 28 postseason innings for Strasburg, 2 runs. Bottom of the first, 2 runs right there. So Dodgers on the board. This team will be gutted. It's over. No to Joe Maddon. Girardi from Mike. We got Fredo, but he won. Yeah, he won at the end of the day. And I would not be totally against bringing in Joe Maddon, but I don't think that we all have the answers as to who's really calling the shots in this organization. Don't forget, Andrew Friedman, by all reports, he's going to re-sign with the Dodgers. And you know the Dodgers love all the success they've had because, you know, they drew almost 4 million fans this year. You know the franchise is near $4 billion, but the Dodgers need to do what a team like the Red Sox did. They make the trade for sale. David Price, trade away your number 1 prospect if you need to. Trade away guys. Look, Gavin Lux was not the answer. Gavin Lux was not the answer, and he may have success. He may turn into an all-star, but at what point are you taking advantage of all your assets at the same time? You don't want to gut the future, but and also with the Astros and the Yankees looking like juggernauts, I mean, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. This team at its best, could they have beaten the Astros or the Yankees? If you watch every single Dodger game all year, every pitch, which I pretty much got close to, if on replay or not, I would have a tough time saying that. I would love to believe that. My head tells me that that's a no. My heart says the Dodgers would have a chance. But if you look at it, losing Alex Verdugo for this series, I thought that he was going to be a big part. But bring in Madden. He didn't win. Analytics won 106 jobs. Bad coaching. Loses postseason games. Here we go. We got get Mookie Betts or JD Martinez from Omar. What a joke Kershaw is. Louis, Dodgers been needing pitching, and they keep drafting, signing. Lux should have been traded for pitching. Well, hey, I mean, say what you want there, but if Lux was going to be traded, it would have probably been for you-know-who, Felipe Vasquez, and we know how that would have worked out. So I'm glad that didn't happen. Dodgers dodged a bullet to that one, but here we go. Fire Dave Roberts. I don't think so. Kelly is a bleeping joke by Alex. Pat, Game 5 should be a mistake. One pitching mistake. Joe Kelly gave the double. Pull him to. Exactly. In that situation, you got to have a quick hook. You got to have a quick hook on Joe Kelly, and there's no excuses. There's no excuses. You know how it is with Joe Kelly. If that first walk, that walk to lead the inning, really should have sent, that was a warning flag. That was the emergency sign, emergency sirens going off, that you know that when Joe Kelly does not have his command, Joe Kelly can be a disaster. And we saw what happened, and unfortunately, we're going to have all winter to agonize about it. Maeda out when he did, Maeda was beasting, and they can look, the decision a couple days ago, that was his second outing in 2 nights. I understand that one. But look, Maeda, you got to ride your hot hand. You got to ride your hot hands. And that is why the postseason in Major League Baseball, look, the home team wins in the history of Major League Baseball. In the division round, the home team wins 52% of the time. It tells us it's a coin flip, right? So to me, it's not about, let's play to bring it home. No, you got to ride your hot hands in the postseason. That's why you see so many teams. That's why you can't. It's not easy to win yourself a World Series. There's so much circumstance at hand, and Kenta Maeda was lights out. You saw his swagger on the mound. Kenta was killing, and unfortunately, I think he should have gotten more opportunities in this postseason. So I agree with you 100%. Mike Scioscia. We could have used Mike Scioscia like him against the Mets, but he's kind of old school. Don't think that he would be in line with the values and the vision of this franchise. But what do you think about Kershaw, Cyberstar? I kind of gave you all my thoughts about Kershaw, and really it just hurts. It just hurts. But Kershaw just look, John Elway late in his career, he was able to get those Super Bowl wins. And that's what I wanted Kershaw to do. I wanted Kershaw, a guy that was desperate for a championship at some point to get his. But look, the reality is the velocity, he's averaging 90.4 miles per hour on his fastball. He used to be at 94. He doesn't even trust his curveball like he once did. He refused to pitch that Kershaw. Real FRG, Clint Pasillas, editor-in-chief of Dodgers Nation, said on the Blue Heaven podcast, which I definitely recommend going to listen to after this, that, hey, in the next round, his hot take, which I definitely got me very excited, was that Kershaw may have moved to the bullpen. And to me, organizationally, they need to get on the same page. They need to identify his limitations. But fortunately, Clayton Kershaw, I don't envision a scenario where he's going to be able to get that blemish off his resume. Hey, if he retired today, he'd be in Cooperstown immediately. Where as soon as he's eligible, he'd be in Cooperstown. There's what he did in 2014 and what he did in his MVP years, in his 3 Cy Youngs speaks for itself. But I know that all you guys want the Commissioner's Trophy at the end of the day and don't want to settle for regular season accolades. But back to you guys. Roberts got thirsty. Mondo, no rings for Kershaw. Tom Martin, Girardi. Why not give Mayor Gonzo a shot? I think, hey, look, on the positive note, by the way, Will Smith did a great job behind the plate. He did a great job behind the plate. Was so close to hitting that walk-off home run. They have the future is still bright for the Dodgers, okay? We're going to be right back at it next year, but the difference this year is we want a big off-season acquisition. We do not want to just build internally next year because, look, we've given Corey Seager and Cody Bellinger enough opportunities to see if they can carry us offensively, and they just have not looked the part. They have not seized the reins of this franchise and led us to the promised land. So we need to go to outside sources. And I fully expect, and really I think Dodger fans demand that this front office, they do whatever it takes to improve this roster. Say the biggest name, Garrett Cole. Say the biggest name, Anthony Rendon. Whatever it takes, the Dodgers need to explore every avenue, because 7 straight division titles, 106 wins. And look, there's a reason. I was telling you guys all season long, there's a reason why the last time a National League team had made it to 3 World Series was all the way back in 1941. It is not easy to sustain that level of dominance over your league, and it hasn't happened since the 1998 to 2001 Yankees. But unfortunately, look, if you want to spin a positive here, let's say the Dodgers, let's say they win this series. Let's say they win in the NLCS. Let's say they play above their abilities and hang with the Astros and Yankees but fall short at the end. Then the organization is going to say, hey, another World Series. Yes, we lost in the end, but we're going to still ride with these guys. Now, red flags. Now it's division round losses. And look, trust me, this is not your typical NLDS team. Since May 24th, the Dodgers and the Nationals, both 74-38, okay? This team started 19-31. This team has over $500 million wrapped up in 3 pitchers, okay? So this national team is probably one of the best teams you're ever going to see a 1 seed face in the NLDS, but no excuses. No excuses, because we knew the Dodgers had enough to get through this series. We know that tonight, had they gone to Maeda against Rendon, had they gone to Claret against Soto, our odds would have been better. You know what? Put Kershaw in the 9th, okay? In 2016, they put him in when they did, okay? And last year against the Brewers, I think we had a 5-1 lead at that point, okay? If you want to do that and try to massage that legacy, try to massage that narrative, maybe that's a better spot for him. But the reality is we've had enough of seeing him fail on the biggest stages, okay? And that, trust me, that's devastating to know the face of your franchise for the last 7 to 8 years cannot deliver when it matters most, but that is the reality of it. That's the reality of it. And it's unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. Just seeing Adams in there for what he did when he did to Kershaw. But like I said, the legacy against Kershaw is not as bad as most people want to believe. He's had great starts. Like I said, 11 strikeouts, no walks, 2017 Game 1. What he did against the Cardinals, really tried to carry them. But unfortunately, the narrative is what it is. And tonight, just two bombs off Kershaw in the 8th inning, and the Dodgers are sent packing. Peterson must go from Tom. Joe Macko, Kershaw always sucks in the postseason, and Roberts has never learned from the postseason, and Kershaw chokes. And that's the thing. Look, Dave Roberts, he's the figurehead. Dave Roberts is going to take this blame. Dave Roberts is a World Series champion, okay? Dave Roberts is going to have to take this one on the chin, because he understands that it's his head if it doesn't go the Dodgers' way, whether or not he signed up for this gig. If there's an agreement that Andrew Freeman, Stan Kasten, that front office is very complex, and if they're making moves, then that is what it is. But look, at some point, the Dodgers need to jumpstart this. The Dodgers need to find a way in year 3 now. This was kind of the drop off, and unfortunately, the Dodgers did not have the horses. They didn't have the horses in the pen. They didn't have the horses with the starting rotation to get it done in this series. So, look, you look at the Game 4. You're bringing out Rich Hill, 39-yard, and I love Dick Mountain, but that just tells you a 39-year-old Rich Hill with an MCL sprain who's pitched less than 5 2/3, less than 6 innings, 5 2/3 innings since being out with an arm flexor and an MCL sprain, and that's who you're throwing out there in Game 4. He gives you one run, 58 pitches. But look, the Dodgers need legitimate aces out there, and we've got one. We've got a dog in Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler is that dude. I'll wear this with pride, but It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But back to you guys. Keep getting all your comments in, guys. If I haven't gotten to you, just keep coming. We got Nestor. We got Cam. We got Jared. We got Mario. No, really, come on. O. Peterson is the other clown that needs to go. Yeah, Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson played well tonight. Jock Peterson stepped up. He hit a double. He hit a single. Jock Peterson is a guy that this series, he hit a home run. Muncy hit 2 home runs. 3 home runs for Muncy. 3 home runs for Max Muncy. But unfortunately, yeah, if you look at Max Muncy, bottom of the first, man. He gets that home run. Dodgers 72-21 this year when scoring first. That wasn't the case. But yeah, other than that, if you look at it, yeah, Russell Martin hit that. Man. But, yeah, back to you guys. Dodger bats went cold during the Toronto series and never got back on track. Look, the Dodgers averaged 5.4 runs a game. The Dodgers set a record for how many runs they scored in a season, surpassing the 1962 Dodgers. The Dodgers statistically had a historic year. Had a year that on paper looked like they should have won this game. But you saw the strikeouts. The strikeouts are a glaring weakness, and we saw it last year in the World Series when the Dodgers hit 208. We saw it last year when the Dodgers hit 205. Actually, I believe it was against the Red Sox. So no big changes. Stay cool. Are you serious, Roy? You don't want any big change. Is there anyone out there that just wants to run this back? To me, I think, look, Dustin May, he was lights out. He gave up a run, but he showed signs. We never got to see Gonsolin. Julio Urias, to be honest with you, looks like he regressed. That fastball is not as electric as it once was. Who knows what happened with him? But was it with this off the field? Who knows? But Walker Buehler, we know we have a foundation to build on with Walker bleeping Buehler. In this series, Walker Buehler, if you look at it, 12 2/3 innings pitched. Walker Buehler, 5 hits, 15 strikeouts, 6 walks, 1 earned run. He was up to the task tonight. He's the first pitcher in baseball history to strike out at least 7 in each of his first 6. So, I mean, Walker Buehler is that dude, and you start with him. He's the ace, and the Dodgers set it up. For him to take the ball in Game 5, and it almost worked. But unfortunately, the bombs that Kershaw, they were not able to recover from in that. But here we go. Back to you guys. We need to see new faces except Walker. He needs to be our number 1. Kershaw, Ryu, Hill, Kelly Jansen need to be gone. And look, don't underestimate just the attrition, the years of pounding. How when you continue to make these long runs, these runs that this Dodger team is making, it almost works against him. And it just looks like Kershaw doesn't have very much left in the tank. 1/3 of an inning pitch, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 strikeout. 2 of those hits go for a home run. Get rid of Kelly. They signed him. F. Kershaw by Jack. Tina G-Man. If you're seeing no changes to be made, go root for the Angels. Clayton needs to go. Dave has given up much. Sager needs to go. Buehler's the best. Jerry, sign Garrett Cole. Hey, Garrett Cole, number 1 pick out of UCLA. I'd love to see him come back to Los Angeles. Garrett Cole, 15 strikeouts. He's going to go tomorrow. We're going to see what Garrett Cole has. At that point, I believe Garrett Cole's 29. Hey, man, it's not my money. I'd love to see. I mean, if you think Verlander and Garrett Cole are a big front of a rotation, imagine seeing a Walker Buehler, Garrett Cole. Then you got Dustin May and maybe Tony Gonsolin, and then Clayton Kershaw. I love the Dodgers, but let's go St. Louis. Ugh, can't believe I just read that. Ryan, let's go to bed. Forget this nightmare. Paul, why is anyone surprised? Offense carried us the entire season. We had weak pitching from day one and never addressed it. That's definitely not the case. I mean, the number, look, the bullpen, the saves, the giving up of inherited runs. The Dodgers had their issues from a bullpen. But for most of the season, Hyun-Jin Ryu, he was a Cy Young frontrunner. Clayton Kershaw, he was quietly putting together a really solid year. Like I said, he benefited from a lot of run support. But this Dodger pitching staff really had gotten it done had really gotten it done for the Dodgers all season long. They led the majors with a 3.11 ERA, a 1.07 WHIP, and they led the National League with the 225 opponent's batting average. So the starters allowed just 1.13 home runs per 9 innings. That was third in Major League Baseball, and they logged 893.2 innings. That's the 5th most in the majors. So if you look at it, the Dodgers, the starting staff, but those numbers don't tell the full story, because we all know when you get to this part of the season, you got to have – look, that is Major League Baseball. You need guys – you need flamethrowers that can get it done this time of year. So we saw it last year. He's an FA, and we can't afford him. Offense didn't get it done. Honeycutt had to go. How much did we pay Joe Kelly? I think $25 million. Ryu is 32, who wants a long-term contract. Buehler was throwing 96, 97. Kershaw throws 90. I fault Dave Roberts for that. Look, Dave Roberts, I mean, it's tough. It's tough because Dave Roberts, if you want to say one thing about Dave Roberts, is that he's really good at building a locker room culture and getting guys to buy in to a platoon system and being okay with it, knowing that they're going to get wins out of it. But he also maybe trusts a little too much. And Clayton Kershaw, he's a stalwart in this franchise. Is Clayton Kershaw, okay? He's one of the Mount Rushmore. He's on the Mount Rushmore of Dodger players, really, if you look at it. I probably wouldn't include him on the list right now, but look, he's in the mix for the greatest Dodger ever. But I know that you guys are more concerned with postseason wins than regular season success, and it's just really, really unfortunate. And it really couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Clayton Kershaw is a great player, a better person. Clayton Kershaw, what he does from a charitable standpoint, what he's done with building schools. In Africa, I mean, what more could it's tough. It's tough to dog him because of how great of a guy he is, and so the Kershaw slander will probably end there. But it was really, really tough. But he sucks at managing. Period. Cyberpunk. By the way, Cyberpunk, you were kind of on this, so Cyberpunk, I'll give you your due. Tip of the cap. You kind of called this. Michael Rodriguez, no excuses. Manager messed up again. Abraham, get JD Martinez, Rendon, Cole, Chapman for closer. Get everyone. We want everyone. We want anyone that can we assemble the Avengers if that's what it takes to get this Dodger team a World Series. At this point, I'm at a loss, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm on the verge of a meltdown. No, I'm just playing, man. I'm cool. How you guys doing out there? How you guys doing? I know this one stings. This one is bitter. Like Vince Scully said, it never comes easy for the Dodgers. I don't know why, but nothing. I love this franchise. I love the fans. I love the uniforms. I love everything about the Dodgers. I just wish we could get a World Series every now and then. It would be nice. We got Roberts, Din, Jose, Rod, Lasorda better than Roberts, Mike. Look, Tommy Lasorda, 2 World Series. Can't deny that. I'm just dumbfounded. Billy, Matt, get Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson, he got some swag. I like Tim Anderson. Look at Kershaw's playoff stats. If you look at him, yeah, Clayton Kershaw, those numbers are bad, man. 9 for 11. I think 9 and 11 with a 4, probably like a 4.4 ERA, something like that now. But look, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have struggled. And what do they have in common? They're not flamethrowers. They're not the Randy Johnson types. They're not the guys that can go out there like they can just steamroll guys. When you rely on command and location, when the pressure gets high, when the adrenaline gets up, you can't just throw it past the guy like we saw with Walker Buehler tonight. But Brett Favre once we need a pitching as a joke. So what's going on? Dodgers, Mount Rushmore, Jackie Robinson, Sandy Koufax, Oral Hershiser, Tommy Lasorda. But yeah, let me make sure I got my comments here. So what's going to happen to this show, Manny? It's a great question. I guess this is the final. I don't know. We've done 50 episodes, something crazy like that this year. Doug, does Ryu re-sign? Joe, if you look at Hyun-Jin Ryu, I would like to see him re-sign something like something favorable, maybe $16, $17 million a year, couple years. We all know that he pitched more than he had in the last couple years combined. When you see Hyun-Jin Ryu, he had that shoulder surgery, had a nagging groin surgery, groin injury. He wasn't as dominant, but he got the job done. And I would love to see Hyun-Jin Ryu back in Dodger blue. You see how much success he has you see how much success he has at home. So here we go. So I'd probably we got Puig for front office, Jose. Hey man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I miss having Puig out there. Say what you want, but Puig, he brought a certain something that AJ Pollock didn't get close to bringing. Thanks for Manny. Bring Fernando back. Hey, he was there today, man. Cornet, then get some flamethrowers. Don't pussyfoot. Commit. The goal is to win. Do whatever it takes. You're right. He hasn't been for a while. This guy talking. He says he's the greatest Dodger ever. To me, I think the greatest Dodger ever is Jackie Robinson, Sandy Koufax. It's 1A and 1B with Jackie Robinson. So I think he's in that mix. I would throw Duke Snider and Roy Campanella. To me, those would be my big Dodgers for all time. So Clayton Kershaw outside looking in. But here we go. But shout out to my man Brooks Smith. Pray for Doug McKay. Pray for me, man. Hey man, this is actually. Hey man, I'll take. Hey, you guys can bulldoze me, think of me as a big punching bag, get your shots in, let out your frustrations, voice your frustrations, because I share a lot of those same frustrations with you. I don't work for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I work for Dodgers Nation, and really my job is to really just be the man of the fan and be the voice, show you guys. But I take a PB job or a ping. Once again, analytics did us in. A Bumgarner and Posey for Dodgers. Oh, Bumgarner, I don't care, man. You know what? At this point, if you could tell me we could win a World Series with Bumgarner, come on down. At this point, anything, whatever it would take for the Dodgers to get that World Series trophy. I think about it once a day, off season, during the season, always creeps back into my mind. And unfortunately, this year is going to be another year where it's all going to be all about next year. It just pains to say. Bring back Ned and Sosha from Gray Gatsby. By the way, I like that. Gray Gatsby. I don't know if that's a real name, but that's pretty cool. The Gray Gatsby. Jordan, Miami Marlins are the best team in Major League Baseball. I like that. Was that the Marlin man on his burner account or something out there? Pizza is my I'm gonna get like a 2 extra large pizzas and a 10 gallons of ice cream after that. But pizza is my favorite Dodger of all time. Mike Piazza, I believe you're referring to. Cyberpunk, never trade Buehler. I hope Roberts' keys don't work in the morning. Logan Jones, hey Doug, do you think we should sign Bumgarner? Logan Jones, how you been, my man? Long time, no chat. Haven't seen the chat in a minute. Hey, I wouldn't be on board with that, just because to me, I think that it could be the most Dodger thing to get Bumgarner and have him just straight up be a clunker with the Dodgers. So, the Giants fans would use that and say we got the bad Bumgarner. So I really don't want to touch Madison Bumgarner. I'm good with that. I don't care. I just don't think he's a great pitcher anymore. And the numbers will tell you that he's not an elite pitcher. I think this team needs a jolt. This team needs an absolute jolt in the offseason. And you saw it. They didn't make the move for Giancarlo Stanton. That was a great move. They didn't do that move. But this year, look, Anthony Rendon is a different guy, because Anthony Rendon, by the way, he's tied with Corey Seager for doubles, 44 doubles in the regular season. But Anthony Rendon is a guy, he hits for contact. Anthony Rendon is a guy that you saw him. He was so poised at the plate. The moment was not too big for him. Was he in an elimination game, or was that a spring training game? You couldn't tell with Anthony Rendon. And you know how he is at the plate. I would love to see him move Turner to first, because I love me some Justin Turner. I still think we can get a couple good years out of him. You start the year, then you see Corey Seager. Look, Corey Seager has come back from a couple tough injuries. He's come back from a hip injury, from Tommy John. You want to see him at times. There was a stretch right there before he went out in July where he was the hottest hitter in Major League Baseball. But you want to see, there's a Molly Knight piece in The Athletic. By the way, Dodgers Nation, all offseason long, go to Dodgers Nation because you know the great writers at Dodgers Nation. Marshall Garvey, Brooks Smith, Clint Pasillas, Daniel Preciado, Jason McClure, Robitaille, Hillary, the whole team. If you want Dodger content, that's where you need to be. And they're gonna map out the offseason, and they're gonna dig deep and do deep dives into all the potential moves and breakdowns and see what it looks like. But lost my train of thought there, but I'm crying inside, guys. Honestly, I'm like sobbing inside here, but it's all good. But the Dodgers. But yeah, I was talking about Corey Seager. Like I said, he literally needs to learn to take a different approach. I know what the averages say on first pitches, but if he waits in the count, has a more disciplined approach, he can learn to slug more, get himself into better counts. So I want to see that, but let's see if there's anything. Oh, by the way, keep coming with those comments. Rendon MVP. If this chat doesn't end, if this postseason game show doesn't end, does that mean the season is still going on? I mean, I wish that was the case. Ha, 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 classic. Cards versus Yankees. Oh, I hate the Cardinals. I'm calling it Cyberpunk. This is a weird question, but if you had to pick one team, to win it all this year, who would you pick? Because I know who I'm picking, the Tampa Bay Rays. Hey, I'm all about the Rays. Starting right after this, I'm going to be rooting hard for the Rays. I want to see the Rays' $53 million payroll. You saw what they did. You saw you saw them last night. I'm going to be all in on the Rays to beat the Astros and win the World Series at this point. But I'm good. No offseason content for me. Wake me up if this team gets back to October. Dodgers audio. You can't do us like that, okay? If you're a real fan, you got to live it. You got to breathe it 24/7, 365. We're the hardcores around here because whenever we do get that, hey, it's going to be more rewarding. It's going to be more rewarding. That champagne is going to be extra sweet, extra bubbly when we do finally get our due and win that World Series. But last year, if you look at it, man, if you look at since last year, at home, Walker Buehler, 11-4 with a 2.14 ERA. He's held opponents to a 1.82 average. Hey, I'm excited about the future with Walker Buehler. I think we're gonna get some no-hitters out of it, maybe some perfect games. He does walk some guys, but we're gonna get some big games out of Walker Buehler. He's gonna lead this team to the promised land. Really has solidified himself as one of the great big game pitchers in this game in Major League Baseball. The best big game pitcher since Orel Hershiser, in my opinion. But yeah, breaking down this game more, if you look at it, third inning, bottom of the third, Turner grounds out, Bellinger reaches on an error by Howie Kendrick. I was thinking, man, Howie Kendrick loves the Dodgers still. Well, that clearly wasn't the case. With that grand slam, shattered our dreams. Bellinger steals second on a breaking pitch, easy money. Took 1 point. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Bellinger still second. Beatty grounds to first. Bellinger advances to third, and they left it. So the Dodgers they had opportunities, 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Three runs with this Dodger bullpen at home was not enough. 3 runs, knowing that Kenley Jansen has a career high in blown saves. Knowing that, really, this bullpen has been rocky at times this year. Knowing that we were going to probably bring Clayton Kershaw in, this team at some point looked like it was comfortable with Walker Buehler on the mound and 3 runs. And then also Steven Strasburg started to locate that curveball, started throwing it for strikes. But if you look at Strasburg, he just had 4 swings and misses in his first 56 pitches. Just 2 swings and misses outside of the strike zone for the Dodgers. So the game plan was being put in play by this Dodger team. And up into the third, only 1 strikeout. Then top of the fourth, Juan Soto reached on a Corey Seager fielding error. And then Soto went to second. Bellinger, he made a great play at center. And that's the thing about Bellinger. He's a 5-tool player. He's a 5-tool player. But we just need to see him hit with more consistency in the postseason. He's like a career 167 career in the postseason. So you can't be batting sub 200 and expect to be known as a great player because we know legends are made in the fall and you got to get it done in October. So the catch that Bellinger made, really an incredible catch because it really curtailed all that Nats momentum that they were building at the time, because if that falls, it's 3-1 and then it's a whole new ball game. But he came up we know how he came up as an outfielder. It was a nice catch, and really, it was a really nice throw to get it back in. Walker Buehler, like I said, thrived tonight. Best big game pitcher since Oral Hershiser. He was I want to read this from Hector, man. This is like a 5-page essay, man. This is your senior thesis right here, right? It hurts, but I'm not surprised. If you've been following the Dodgers all year, you shouldn't either. We knew the bullpen had certain Maeda, Kershaw out of the pen because World Series caliber team has better options. No bringing Kolarek was the big mistake. Yeah, Kolarek should have been in to face Soto. Why did Kolarek not come into – they had the lefty-lefty with Kershaw. But look, it's tough. It's hindsight's 20/20. Looking back here, not every managerial move that works means it was the right one, and not everyone that didn't work mean it was the wrong one. But in that situation, look, I think Clayton Kershaw, when he came in, the thing about Clayton Kershaw when he did come in, and if you saw him, he started eating off with that 4-seam fastball right on the wrist. He fouls it off. Slider got called for a strike, and then Eaton couldn't hold up, and then he struck out Eaton on 3 pitches. So Clayton Kershaw came in relief, and he comes in with 2 on, 2 outs, and he got Eaton on 3 pitches. So in that situation, hey, you got to be saying maybe Clayton Kershaw has it, and he had the confidence of Dave Roberts and whoever. I'll give anything to know who's making every decision. If it's Dave Roberts, if it's the front office, who is it? Who's the brain trust? I have no idea. But the fact that he got Eaton on 3 pitches in that situation gave them confidence in the next inning, but still in that situation. I wanted to see Maeda versus Rendon, and we didn't see Maeda versus Rendon, and it was the beginning of the end for the Dodgers. So I really want to see him in to face Turner, and then we saw what happened. That Rendon, was an 89-mile-per-hour 4-seam fastball, so couldn't even get it up to 90 on that one. And then Soto, he goes deep. That was an 89-mile-per-hour slider. And then the bottom half, Rainey and Patrick Corbin, they retired the Dodgers in order. So you saw that there. And then, 8th inning, that's the one that's going to be in our nightmares. Back to you guys, do some rapid fire. Douglas, garbage, Kershaw, fire Kershaw, no starters, fire Fry. Kolarek has zoned Soto, of course. Exactly. He was Soto's personal out-getter, okay? Kolarek, you have one job, and it's to get out Soto, but you got to figure that they wanted that lefty-lefty matchup there. They thought he could handle it, and unfortunately, Clayton Kershaw fails again when the Dodgers need him most. It pains me to say that, but that's just the harsh reality of this situation. Shout out to Kurt Suzuki, glad he's okay. Yeah, I'm glad he's okay, man. He hit his wrist, man. Get up and take your base. No, it's playing, but and the other thing too. I'll talk about this. We'll do the Walker Buehler parade here. I mean, when that happened, he was not rattled. He looked like he was. When he looked like he was shaking a little bit, but he came back and he battled all game long. Walker Buehler, and man, he put his heart out there for the Dodgers, and unfortunately, they weren't able to finish the job for him. But sure, blame Kershaw, blame Roberts. You would have blamed Buehler if he had pitched like crap. He's lost games during the season from Alfred. Yeah, but look at Walker Buehler, man. Look when you need him most. Game 163, he pitched 4 2/3 innings of 1-run ball. Other than that, home run to Yelich. He was great in Game 7 against the Brewers. Game 3 against the Red Sox, he was phenomenal. So to me, you earn equity like when you're Walker Buehler. When you have succeeded when we need you most, you earn that equity. And like I said, I've said it right here. I'm not I'm not gonna drag Clayton Kershaw through the coals. I got a Clayton Kershaw jersey right here, man. I mean, I'm a big Clayton Kershaw fan, and like I said, he's had his moments. He's had against the Mets, he's had against the Cardinals. He had some night starts, but unfortunately, what comes to mind are his failures and not his successes, because when you don't win it all and you don't finish one game above 500 in the season, in the postseason, you don't get those 11 wins, that is what's going to stick in players' minds. And be honest, he hasn't had, look, if you saw in Game 5 of 2017, he had 4 innings of shutout of great baseball, and of course, unfortunately, gave up that home run to Springer in Game 5. So, I mean, I don't want to get into all that, but I mean, look, man, he's the guy to blame tonight. You got to blame him. And you got to blame, to me, you got to blame this organization for not being honest with itself. This organization keeps spinning its wheels with trying to rewrite Kershaw's epitaph, his eulogy. He's not dead yet, okay? His career's not over, but they try to keep giving him those postseason moments. And to me, you should have stuck to your guns. You should have stuck with Kenta Maeda, with Adam Kolarek, and then, fine. If Kershaw's up 2 runs, you put him in the 9th, I would trust him in that situation, especially if you looked at how the order would have worked there. But we got Cards pitching is even nastier. Cyberpunk, I disagree with that. If you look at, by the way, they crushed the Braves today. The Braves haven't made it past the first NLDS in 18 years. But yeah, if you look at this season, I mean, if you look at the Cards, I mean, Flaherty even got touched up a little bit. So I don't agree with that. I think the Nationals starting pitching is still much better. But Yankees, Cardinals, World Series, exactly no moments. I mean, look, he struck out 11, Game 1 of 2017, first guy to do so since Don Newcomb. Deja vu, keeping Kelly in, bases loaded just like the last time. What do you know? Grand slam. And they, of course, are going to keep him in. Everyone, Kelly cost us not only the game, but the NLDS. When I saw him bring Kelly in, I knew we would lose. It's so disappointing to see how amazing this year. This was a storybook season for the most part of the year. 12 walk-off wins, 106 wins, franchise record. Yes, the 53 Dodgers still have a winning percentage, but look, man, this is not how the season was supposed to end. And unfortunately, if you want to feel good about something, I think that last year, making a second consecutive World Series, you could run that back. You could not make the move for Bryce Harper. You could not, which is I'm okay with. But this year, we can look at Andrew Freeman and point to ways where he definitely failed. They failed, and Adam Kolarek was a nice move, but still, he's not going to give you 2, 3, 4 outs. I mean, he's a loogie. He's good in his role. He does his job, but. And the Felipe Vasquez didn't work out, but the Dodgers, they didn't make any moves, any big time moves that could really take this team over the top. They could really jolt this team. Maybe they thought Yu Darvish was a bust, so they didn't want to make a move at that risk. But to me, this Dodger team, the Andrew Freeman, Joe Kelly didn't work out, but he wasn't put in a great spot. But the 8th, so Nats are at Dodger Stadium on the grass celebrating right now. Redondo 85. Hey, man, this is a franchise, the Washington Nationals, that hasn't won a division series since 1925. So they're a team that's due. They're a team that would covet the Dodgers' success, but we know the standard. We know that the only acceptable outcome this year was for the Dodgers to win a World Series. The Dodgers didn't win the World Series, so it's a failure to the fans, to everyone out there. But look, the Dodgers, they have a bright future. The Dodgers have a young core of, to me, look, Will Smith. I mean, I know this is not going to really go far, but Will Smith behind the plate really did a great job. Balls in the dirt, really had the confidence of the pitching staff all night long, was so close to hitting it out and hitting a walk-off. This would be such a different feeling right now. But they got him to build on. To me, he's an all-star catcher in the making. Gavin Lux hit a home run in Game 1. He's got a beautiful swing. I think offensively, he'll be a guy that's an all-star player. They have to find a way to get Corey Seager to really start playing like a guy that's going to be a pillar of this franchise, to be more than just an above-average shortstop and a guy that can produce better offensively. Yes, we know he's a doubles machine, hit 19 home runs on the year, but I think he needs to take the next step. And then Cody Bellinger, we need to find out what happened in the second half of the season. He was batting .250 post-All-Star break. Going into it, you saw I think he was batting .343. So he's a guy whose production really dropped off, ended up with 47 home runs. He's going to win the MVP, but we're going to see what can Cody Bellinger do to hit with more consistency at this stage in the playoffs. And then you look at Justin Turner. Justin Turner, I love Ginger Jesus. Justin Turner is my guy, but he's lost a step at third. There's no denying that. I think the easy move, you saw Anthony Rendon. Anthony Rendon has said in the past that he thinks baseball is boring. Anthony Rendon has said in the past that he doesn't want to play forever. Maybe he will take a 5-year deal. And like I said, we lost to Joe Kelly. We signed him. We lose to Anthony Rendon. We got a first-hand glimpse of how great he is. And when he started to get going, he's a guy who struggled in September leading up to this series, and he started to turn it on. So I think that's the move. I think they need more firepower offensively. We can't rely. The strikeouts are the most glaring weakness of this team. If you look at it, I mean, 63 strikeouts, 63 Ks is too much in a 5-game series. I mean, that's just ridiculous right here. But if you look at it, this series is kind of going down. And then we're gonna get Alex Verdugo. Alex Verdugo's an all-star caliber player. He's got great range in the field. His UZR scar. He's got a straight rope. He's got a cannon. So we're gonna get him back. Gavin Lux is gonna turn into a star. Will Smith. That's a core right there. And then you add star power from the outside, and then you start being honest about something. And AJ Pollock. I had high hopes for AJ Pollock because you know how great he was against us when he was with the Diamondbacks, and you saw that some of the analytics, he had some great hard hit rate with him. You saw he was 7-14 against Strasburg, but AJ Pollock was lost. AJ Pollock was dude had just go up there without it. He had swing with an invisible bat this series. He wasn't even hitting. I mean, this guy was an automatic out up there. AJ Pollock was a disaster. They're gonna they should just eat that contract. $60 million right there. I don't see him at this stage of his career turning it around. His bat, he just can't catch up. He's lost it on that bat speed. Kike Hernandez is what he is. He's a bench player. He's a guy that you might platoon at times. Sometimes he plays up. Sometimes he'll be like tonight, he hit a home run. He kind of misjudged that ball defensively. He kind of made it look like a better player than it was. Jock Peterson is what he is. He's a streaky hitter. He's a guy that can turn it on in the postseason at times. Last year, he really didn't have a good postseason. Only postseason really to speak of is that 2017 Astros series that's on everyone's mind. But Jock Peterson, I think you need to upgrade from that position. I would move on from Jock Peterson as much as I like the guy. The Dodgers need to upgrade from that position. Jock Peterson, he can't hit lefties, and if they want to keep him as a platoon guy. And David Freese, he comes out there, strikes out. I still don't think they got enough out of David Freese. David Freese is a guy, down to their last strike, 2011, Texas Rangers, Cardinals, doubles, then he homers. David Freese is in the conversation for one of the greatest postseason players in Major League Baseball history. David Freese was underutilized all season long. 8 at-bats heading into this game, okay? 9 at-bats for David Freese tonight is just not going to get it done. Why did you made the trade for David Freese. I understood that you made that trade maybe not thinking that you were going to keep him long-term, but you did, and why'd you do it? You wanted to keep him as a locker room presence. But David Freese tonight, if you saw 1 at-bat out of David Freese, you keep a guy on ice 4 of 9, okay? How about this? Guess who led the Dodgers in batting in the 2018 World Series? It was David Freese. He went 5 for 12. This year, 4 of 9, okay? David Freese did not get the opportunities. I know that he deals with some tendonitis in his knees. I know he's not a spring chicken, but hey, David Freese would not have shied away from opportunities up there. Russell Martin, man. Without Russell Martin, Dodgers, we could not even have a Game 5, okay? The Dodgers could have lost this in 4. So, but Jock Peterson, we got Pedro, we got Justin Turner in the series. He was 6 of 21 for 280. He hit 286 in the series. Justin Turner, he had 2 big home runs, 5 RBIs, a walk. 2 strikeouts. So think about Justin Turner, man. It just feels like we kind of wasted his best years. You saw he's third behind Steve Garvey and Duke Snider in home runs. He leads the Dodgers in all-time postseason RBIs with 35. And this series, he hits 286. Jock Peterson hit 267, was 4 of 15. Max Muncy, 5 of 19. So Max Muncy, tonight Max Muncy goes 1 for 5 with that big bomb, and he slugged for the Dodgers. And but Gavin Lux, he was 2 for 9, hit 222. Really wasn't ready to compete. I mean, how much great pitching has Gavin Lux? Has he ever faced a Max Scherzer, a Corbin, a Strasburg level pitcher? It's a tough situation for a guy who's not even a rookie yet. So tough for him. Matt Beatty, he goes 3 for 8, 375. Matt Beatty, you got to love his contributions. But look, this Dodger offense was limited. This series. If you look at, Pollock, 11 strikeouts. Seager, 8 strikeouts. 8 strikeouts for Corey Seager. He hit a $150. Corey Seager hit a $150 this series. 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. He just cannot catch up to anything with the Nationals were doing. He hit a double. He had 3 hits all series long. And then look, if Corey Seager and Cody Bellinger, they combined for 15 strikeouts in 5 games, 7 hits, and Cody Bellinger never hit a home run. Cody Bellinger, the guy who was chasing Adrian Beltre, was chasing Sean Green to be the Dodgers' all-time home run king. He hits no home runs. His last home run, I believe, was against the Giants on September 27th. So, Cody, we need a guy. This postseason, we need guys to step up. But a couple more of you guys takes, guys. Going to be signing off here for the last time. We're at an hour and 11. Unless you guys want to keep rolling, get everything out. Get all your Dodger takes. Baseball is fickle. Steven Richards, Marino, LOL. Seager, our pitching isn't great, but not as bad as our bats. Our defense pulled at. Look, this you got to hit home runs. You got to look. 49% of the Dodgers' runs this year have come via the long ball. 49.8%. The Dodgers rely on home runs. Tonight they got a big one, and that's why it felt great early on. But they didn't put enough runs, considering that this bullpen got exposed. Oh, my gosh, man. Arenado, hey, he's not happy in Colorado. I would trade for Nolan Arenado. He's a dude. Tony Roberts or the front office, they all made mistakes. When you lose, it's everyone's fault. When you lose, everyone takes part in the blame, and that's just the reality, except Walker Buehler. Everyone except Walker Buehler. No, I'm just kidding. But everyone takes the blame. But we need Seager to come around. We need Cody Bellinger to come around this time of year. But still have a lot to be. Fire 30 now. Hashtag. You're trying to get that going. Not enough situational hitting. Look, tonight you saw 2 stolen bases by Cody Bellinger. If you saw tonight, the Dodgers were trying to get him on, get him over, get him in, right? That's the mentality. But this Dodger team has issues with contact, and those 63 strikeouts will show you just that. This team has a problem catching up to stuff, and they just couldn't get it done tonight. They couldn't get it done. The Dodgers' best record in the National League, 106 wins. They go down to the Nationals, and the Nationals, they're going to be tough, man. I think the Nationals are going to the World Series now, man. I think the Nationals will go to the World Series now, so watch out for that. And by the way, if there's one good thing to feel about is at least we're not Bryce Harper right now. Well, actually, no, I kind of wish I was Bryce Harper. I would take a $330 million contract any day of the week. But at least Bryce Harper is watching his team that is going to make a World Series run. Bryce Harper's former team will be in the World Series. I have them right now over the Cardinals. But what happened to Urias? Lux playing postseason, did well. He's only 20 years old. Yeah, no, he's a dog, man. Thank you, Doug, for providing us. Dodger fans, now I got to hear it. Nats fans, yeah, man. Dodgers win. Nats are clutch. This team has an analytics problem in knowing Kershaw for everything. DR, if Dodgers would have lost, then if Dodgers would have still lost, I think if you're saying if the Dodgers would have won the next series, I think the Dodgers would have. This was the world. This series determined who will be representing the National League in the World Series, because the next series, the Dodgers' depth and the Dodgers' ability to throw out guys left and right. I think we would have saw Tony Gonsolin back in there in the next series. I think the Dodgers would have fared well against the Cardinals or the Braves. Cardinals are a million times better than the Nats. You actually really believe that, Cyberpunk? The Cardinals were like 23rd or 24th in offense this year. Goldschmidt is hitting well right now, but I don't know. I don't really know if I would. I think the Dodgers. I mean, they've had their issues with them, but I probably would have rolled with the Dodgers in that one, because look, they only put 3 runs up on this national team. They got smoked by Max Scherzer, and unfortunately, that was all she wrote. But yep, guys, that is gonna do it. Any other Dodger, any other crazy Dodger takes? You guys want to keep hanging out here? Really, we kind of broke it all down. Dodgers could not get it done. This team, a great team, but a flawed team. A fun year, but a dissatisfying year. Last thing you remember is the heartbreak of loss, the bitter taste of defeat. All I'm going to say is Vin Scully said, nothing comes easy for the Dodgers. The boys of summer lost 5 times to the Yankees before winning in 55. Unfortunately, this team, they're like 6 of 18 in the World Series. So, hey, I love the Dodgers. Like I said, Dodgers for life. And that's not going to change. Hopefully this franchise understands what they need to do to cap this off. Because, look, the Astros won't look the same next year. And the Yankees won't look the same. But I still think that next year is going to be the year. I think the Dodgers, I'm calling it right now, 2020 World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers. No, man, I think I'm going to go into the fetal position and cry myself to sleep and order a pizza and get some ice cream. Sean, Ozuna and Goldie were only 2 cards hitting anything until today. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Ozuna and Goldie. Cyberpunk, Yankees are flawless AF. This is how we do it, defending champ. David Vassay is a damn loser. That's funny. What did David Vassay say? Doug, see you next year for a better season, I hope. Only me too. John Isles, a long-time guy in the comments. What up, John? Only thing that'll make me happy, 107 win, best regular season record. Yeah, it has been squandered. Repeat, rinse, repeat. See you next season. Let's go Dodgers. Same. Just hoping that, yeah, guys. That is going to do it, guys. But hey, it's been a fun year here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Like I said, go to DodgersNation.com for all your off-season Dodger needs. You know the writers are going to be bringing all that Dodger content. Really hurts to say goodbye, guys. Was really hoping that this would culminate in a World Series title. That's not the case. We know we need to make some wholesale changes. Andrew Freeman and company need to get to work immediately and getting this city and this fan base the championship that it deserves. But thanks again, guys. Enjoy the rest of the postseason. See you guys next year, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger Baseball.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
And Turner in the air to center field. That ball's hit well. Martinez on the run. This is way back, and it is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner.
That's it. A knockout in 19. A 7th consecutive division title for the Dodgers.